Hello everyone. So I haven't done a reading vlog in a second. I feel like I've done a few sit down vlogs. I am testing out a new mic and also a new tripod, but I tested out both beforehand. I'm just retesting them out for this. But I have read quite a few books in the space of since we have talked. The last video I probably filmed, I was reading Emperor. I have done that sort of my last couple of reads, like a follow-up of what I've read so far. So I was reading the Emperor, which is a dark verse mafia romance series, the third one. I had actually read that now, which I gave it 5 stars. And then I also read Wicked Heart's first book, which is Rick and Ruin, and I gave that a 4 stars, which I haven't written a review yet, but I will. Please follow me on Goodreads. I update that all the time. But I thought I would give romance a little bit of a break, because we all know I love reading romance. We know that. But I actually read a book recently called The Midnight Library, which a lot of people have read, and I absolutely loved it. I actually found out that they were making a movie out of it, and Florence Pugh is producing it and playing the main female character, which I am so pleased about. Side note. I'm actually reading Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. I got this for my birthday, which was a couple of days ago, and I'm really excited about it. The cover is the cutest thing I have ever seen in my entire life, and I'm so excited. And I think I'm only on page... Let me see, I lost my bookmark somewhere, so I'm using a powerless bookmark. I am up to page 14, so this video is sort of a bit of a reading vlog and a bit of an update, I think. I'll do a few days of my life reading this book and kind of getting back into the swing of things out of romance. I think it's really good to read books with different genres. Another update is that I actually am writing a book, which is pretty crazy. I don't know what will the end result be, and not the book plot, but end result of kind of what I would do with it. But I recently graduated from Auckland University of Technology, and I studied film, advertising, and performance minor as well. And I used to write films all the time and kind of was always in that creative zone. I used to write ads, all that kind of stuff. I used to use my creativity quite a lot, and I feel like I'm only using it for social media at the moment because I am a content producer for a theatre in Auckland, and I only really utilise my creativity in a social media way, which to me is comes pretty easy to me, and it's slightly soul destroying a little bit just because it's always the same stuff, right? So I thought about giving writing another go. My punctuation thing and spelling is not the greatest, but it's actually a great learning curve for me and kind of really getting back into the swing of writing again. And I really loved it. The plot I quite like, and I'm hoping I can write it in a great way. I will actually read you guys the little log line kind of a thing. So it is an erotic horror or romantic horror, because we all know I don't read anything but romance. And I actually used to love writing thriller horror films. It was my thing. Like, I used to write that all the time. I used to love it. For my kind of final film, my capstone at the end of my degree, I wrote more of like a metaphorical, poetic film, so I wanted to give that a try, but I'm definitely going back to my roots for this. I used to write thriller films all the time. I did in my second year of uni. Me and my friends wrote a thriller film. Majority it was me who wrote it, but it was so much fun, and I loved it, and I just wanted to continue on. So the logline is: an erotic game of pool leads the young couple to reminisce about their first date, but when memory distorts and the flavour of one's love mixes with the swish of a pool cue, who will finish with the ball in hand, and who will succumb to the torture of the game? Now it is that logline is only for one timeline of the plot. It's a dual dual timelines. So you got the couple and then also the detective who is kind of dealing with the case later on in life. This couple is sort of a part of a series of deaths throughout in that time, and the detective is sort of getting back into it and seeing this cold case again. And I have written, I think, one and like 3/4 of a chapter. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I've definitely got a outline and definitely how I want to write it. I've taken inspiration from a musical, which is my favorite musical of all time, and that is Merrily We Roll Along. It's an old musical, but they kind of redid it later on with like Daniel Radcliffe and Jonathan Groff and things like that. And I loved it. I went to go see it in New York and I absolutely fell in love with it. So I love the idea of sort of how it was structured a little bit. So I've kind of utilized a similar structure with basically starting at the end, and the end of the book or play, whatever, is the start of it. So they've kind of reversed the plot, and that's what I've used for the couple. The detective is not that way, but yeah. So, and they've kind of, each chapter is 1 year back. So it's called The Anniversary is the title I've kind of come up with now at the moment, but that could change. And so for the couple, every chapter is a year backwards. So their anniversary, a year, if that makes any sense. And the detective is kind of trying to figure out what happened and their link to what's going on in their current life, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is what I'm doing. So this video is sort of about a bit of a kind of let's steer away from romance, kind of a reading vlog, as well as an update and kind of seeing what's happening with the book that I'm writing and how I'm writing it. Also, I think it's a really cool way of doing that because I have my own strategies in terms of what I've already known from writing film, but it's very different to writing a film script, obviously. But I was always told in senior school, in high school, in year 11, I was told I wrote a creative writing piece, and my teacher was like, Emily, this is a great piece of writing, but it's not a book. You're not writing a book. You're writing a short piece, right? So this time I really just like word vomited. Like I was having so much fun just actually like fully describing it and things like that. So it's super fun. Super excited. I'm not going to tell you like the horror aspect. You're going to have to read it. I'm not going to spoil anything too far into it. Plus I also need to like rehash the plot and kind of really get into the thick of it and things like that. So exciting. So yeah, that's my update. That's where we're at. It's currently Wednesday 27th of May. My birthday was on the 23rd. My birthday nails. They're press-ons. Can you see that? Here we go. Cute. Yeah, I turned 22. Crazy. do a little bit of an update on the book I'm reading, which is Remarkably Bright Creatures, this book by Shelby Van Pelt. I am currently page 157, so we've definitely read a fair bit in that space of time. I wanted to film my like absolute shocked emotions in, okay, this video will have spoilers, I'm so sorry, like it will, because I can't not share the spoilers, yeah, but when the octopus Marcel I think, whatever, revealed that he found the key at the bottom of the ocean and it was actually her son who had died, shocked. I was like, and I realized Emily is literally a talking octopus, like not a talk, but like narrated. It's narrated by an octopus, Emily, and I'm currently shocked. Like it was just like a eye-opening experience. I was like, I can't believe I'm so enthralled in it. Like it is so like mundane, like it is so day in the life-esque, but I am so interested in everyone's lives, which is a bit because I'm so used to reading really intense romances or really intense fantasy books, but this hits, like it's so good. Literally, I was reading this I was reading Cameron's point of view, which is one of the point of views in this book. There's like 3 different point of views, 3, a little bit 4, but 3 mainly. And I was reading it and I go in my head, because you know your head like talk, I have such a internal monologue, and I go in my head, do you know that book that we were reading, it was about octopus, and I was like, it was really good, but I was so immersed in the book I didn't even realize I was reading. Like I was like so, it was such a, like a deja vu experience. I was like, that octopus book, I'm like, wait, and then I blinked and I realized, oh my god, Emily, that is the current book that you're currently reading. I was like, what? You're so immersed in a book you forget you're reading. That is what I absolutely love, and this is what this book has done to me, which is shocking to me, and I've been wanting to read it for so long. And yeah, I know there's a movie coming out. That's why I started the book, just so that I could read the book before I watch the movie. But please read it. It is so good. I'm probably like a third of the way through it, but so banging. Love it. But I can't find my normal bookmark, so I'm using like a powerless, like freebie bookmark. Yeah, but currently Cameron and Tova are nearly coming together, because Cameron is currently in the same town that Tova lives in, and he is now starting a job at the aquarium, and I'm so excited to see them combine, because I love Tova. She's so unapologetically herself, and I love that about her, honestly. But yeah, this book I know will make me cry. You know when that we know what's gonna happen, it's emotionally destroying. That's what this book is giving, and I'm terrified. Not a little bit of an update. I bought another book today because I'm currently at a different location, as you can kind of tell, and we're up at my batch up north, and we went to the markets this morning, and I went to the little bookshop there. It's one of my favourite bookshops. It's so cute. I didn't film in there because it's just so busy and I have social anxiety, so, and I was looking around the fiction section. It's like not a huge bookshop, but like I always pick up a few little gold mines when I go in there, and I was picking up this book, and the girl behind me was like, hey, and I was like, oh, you know when you look around and you're like, what have I done, you know what I mean, that type of a situation. And she was like, by the way, that book, I finished it on Monday, read it in a day, and I was absolutely destroyed. Like it ruined me, but like in the best way. And I said, oh my goodness, like honestly, if it doesn't make me cry, like it doesn't make me wrong. Like I need to cry in a book. That is Atmosphere, a love story by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And literally, I'm so excited. The cover of it says the #1 Sunday Times bestseller, which is always a good thing, but I'll read you guys the back of it. So, in the summer of 1980, Joan Goodwin begins training to be an astronaut at Houston's Johnson Space Center, alongside an exceptional group of fellow candidates. As the new astronauts prepare for their first flights, Joan finds a passion and a love she never imagined and begins to question everything she believes about her place in the observable universe. Then, in December of 1984, on mission STS-LR-9, everything changes in an instant. Atmosphere is a soaring love story about the transformation power of love, this time among the stars. And I am scared, frankly, but so excited. So that's probably either my next read, because I did just get another, because I got this for my birthday from my brother and his girlfriend, which I was so excited about, and then my sister also got me a book as well. I actually asked for this, and also the Ellie Hazelwood. I brought it with me because I didn't know whether I would finish Remarkably Bright Creatures or not. I didn't know if I was going to buy another book here. But Ellie Hazelwood's Not in Love, that's probably my next book. So that one's just a sweet little romance, but that's the current stack I've got going on. So yeah, that's my update. And an update on the book I'm writing, useful field clips. I've had to rearrange a few things, which is quite difficult, but we're getting there. I might sit down and write now. So that's my update. Okay, so I am page 298. I am so close to finishing. I am so terrified. Just bringing out that if that until the old lady dies. I'm gonna be so mad. I am going to just throw hands. There's something really fishy about the father. Well, it's not his father, I think we all know that, but about this Simon guy. He's going down to the basement in a supposedly dark and dreary apartment building. And he's a millionaire. Like, what? Page 118. 318. I'm on about 318.